So I'm going to move the antenna, this selector, to a new region so that it's closer to the camera and more down here on the actual front antenna now. And I'm going to make sure I have the front edge of it. So I'm really trying to just be precise. I guess I'm kind of geeky like that. I want it to be precise and I want to really know what I'm doing. I hate it when people, I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, I always say you should know why it's doing that, or at least have a pretty good idea. Obviously there are things that you might not understand, but I want to know what's going on because I want my art to be as exactly the way I want it as I can. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and sometimes you just got to compromise. But if you can at least control these things, I agree. I think you should try. So I'm going to mess with this. So now I've moved my focal point up front on this object. So I'm going to save this so I can compare. So I can say this is what it looked like a minute ago. I can compare the focus. So this was my render a minute ago, and then I re-rendered it here to sharpen or to unsharpen that back edge. Now I'm going to be focusing on this one, and I'm going to re-render it now and see what I get. But you can do this forever and ever and ever. But this I just hope this can show you how you modify and adjust these values to kind of get what you want. It's not magic, it's just a lot of testing and making sure you get what you want out of it. There you go. So I like it. I want this little edge right there. And this little edge right here. And I can see the focus. And anyway, I like the way it's looking. I'm happy with that. I get the area of focus that I want. So if I was to animate that locator back and forth across my model, then I would get that area of focus moving. So essentially, if I took this, animated it in Z across time, so it moved like this, then I would end up with that feeling of the depth moving. So an example of that is what I showed at the very beginning of this film, of all this depth of field test here. So in the end, we've created a camera that gives us the ability and gives us the attributes that we want on it. It gives us the ability to control that sense of depth. This is the same model that I was working with. I'm moving that locator across the front edge so I can have that nice sense of depth. I had a back wall that allowed me to move the focal point all the way back there so I could focus on that. It's just a matter of changing settings and getting things to be the way I want it. But then that gives you that sense of realism. This is much like some surrealistic types of animators that really like to focus on that. Objects really up close. Svankmeyer's work, Jan Svankmayer and the Brothers Kwai comes to mind. And those kinds of techniques add a different feel to your works. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I know it was a long, but it's kind of a detail-focused type of thing. So hopefully you'll take this idea, you build your own camera, and you'll use these techniques to create art that has a completely unique look to it, something that will make your art stand out.